Florida State has been lighting it up on the recruiting trail the last couple weeks, bringing in top recruits at pretty much every position, except one. Is there a cause for concern? Now, in the past 2 weeks, Florida State has gained commitments from two blue chip defensive linemen, essentially flipped a four-star offensive lineman from the Florida Gators, pulled a four-star tight end all the way from Nebraska, pulled a four-star wide receiver away from the Georgia Bulldogs, and in that same stretch, they should have landed at least one, but likely two linebackers, especially high four-star fringe five-star Tavion Wallace, who you led for all cycle, had all the predictions to land, and then he got stunned by Arkansas at the last minute. You also had four-star linebacker Adrius Rainey Sale choose Washington over Florida State, and four-star Gavin Nix go to Miami. And this is after missing on another high four-star linebacker earlier this cycle in Daryl Johnson, who committed to Alabama. And we're hearing that at least two of them did actually verbally commit to this staff while on campus and just never held up to it. But now this leaves you with just one linebacker committed right now with four-star Ethan Pritchard. Now, yes, it's still very early in the cycle. There's still a lot of time left. But considering pretty much all your other top targets are now committed elsewhere, you have to count on the flip now to pull it off. That's definitely not ideal, and especially considering how promising this linebacker board looked just a few months ago. Now, I know people get irritated whenever I talk about this, and I really don't know why, because it's not like this is an opinion. Linebacker recruiting has been underwhelming. That's a fact for years now, and there's really no reason for it. I'll throw this graphic here for you guys, and it's really easy to see that there's a bit of a weak spot here going back through the whole Norvell era, really. Now, 2020 and 2021 were rough seasons for Florida State, so I can see why the recruiting may have been a little tougher back then. But since 2022, we should have seen more improvement there with our on-field product getting significantly better. Blake Nicholson in the 2023 class was a good pickup, but that one was actually more because of Derek E. Ray and his West Coast connections, in my opinion. And a lot of those other 4-stars were low 4-stars and even actually 3-stars on some rankings. Now, I'm not trying to get too caught up in numbers and rankings because it doesn't always matter at the end of the day, but in that time at other positions, you've landed a 5-star quarterback, actually really two, a 5-star wide receiver, a 5-star tight end. You're probably bringing in two 5-star offensive linemen in 2025. Patrick Surtain has brought in multiple high 4-star DBs. So every other position on the field is doing what you would expect for a successful Florida State football program. Now, like I said, this cycle and other past cycles have started off really well. We even made a video on this channel a few months back about how Florida State was trending for several high targets at linebacker, and I even gave Randy Shannon his flowers for putting together a really good board. But now here in July, it's dwindled down and it's very, very thin. I don't know if it's complacency, a communication issue. I know that some of the recruiters on this staff are pretty old school, which is fine, but either way, this kind of breakdown is really inexcusable, especially considering you're burning valuable resources spent on recruiting these kids for months and months just to get left with nothing. Now, I think this is still shaping up to be a very good recruiting class. Like I said, you have multiple 5-stars in the fold, a lot of the top guys. I still think this will be Mike Norvell's best class yet, hopefully in the top 10 by the time it's all said and done. But I think especially if we could have pulled off some of these linebackers, or if we still somehow can circle back, I think it could take this class to the next level like it should be. Now, like I said, there's still time to fix it. I don't think all these recruitments are just over by any means. I think you still have a couple of realistic targets out there. It's just disappointing to have to count on a flip for multiple kids when you should have gotten them in the first place. But maybe this is just me bellyaching for no reason. Like I said, I still think Florida State's in a good shape overall. Just hope to be able to turn it around at linebacker. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, maybe I'm being too dramatic like I said. But definitely let me know down in the comments. We'll be back with more. I'm sure we'll have some more commitment videos soon. So definitely make sure you're subscribed and like the video. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Go Noles.